Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Brandi GL. Anvil's anguish, and the shadow her past still casts. In the often glamorous yet brutally exposed world of reality television, few stars have endured a more public and prolonged emotional saga than Brandi Glanville, the former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills icon, whose very introduction to the Bravo universe was a baptism by fire following her devastatingly public divorce, is once again at the center of a wave of genuinely heartbreaking news. This time, the sadness is not about a feud or a scandal. It is a desperate cry for help as she battles a crippling health condition, emotional turmoil, and crippling financial strain, all of which she attributes to the unrelenting stress of her television life, a stress that began with the collapse of her marriage to actor Eddie Cibrian. For fans who have followed Brandi's journey for over a decade, the narrative of betrayal is a foundational touchstone. Her ex-husband, Eddie Cibrian, who left her for country music star LeAnn Rimes, set the stage for an unprecedented level of public scrutiny and emotional fallout. While the trio has, for the sake of their two sons, Mason and Jake, achieved a fragile détente, often referred to as a sister-wives arrangement, the foundational wound never truly healed. And now that past trauma, coupled with more recent professional allegations and drama, appears to be manifesting in a terrifying physical and financial reality for the unfiltered star. The physical manifestation of pain, Brandi's health crisis. The most immediate and, today, very sad news concerning Brandi is the shocking and visible decline in her physical well-being. Brandi Glanville has been in and out of hospitals for nearly 2 years, struggling with a mysterious and debilitating skin condition she has identified as angioedema. This severe, stress-induced ailment causes sudden, massive swelling in the deep layers of the skin, often around the face and throat. Her recent public disclosures, shared across social media, have been deeply concerning. Brandi has posted photos showing her face severely swollen and bruised, looking almost unrecognizable. She speaks openly about the constant, painful swelling that makes it difficult to talk or taste food, and how the condition has led her to an emotional breaking point. "This is why I'm miserable and depressed," she recently wrote, sharing a selfie of her swollen face. She has described the symptoms in alarming detail, saying she sometimes prefers the swelling because when it recedes, her face sinks in to a point where she feels she looks like a crackhead. She has spent tens of thousands of dollars on doctors and tests, some of whom have bizarrely suggested a parasite that jumps around her face, while others confirm stress-induced edema. The heartbreak for fans lies not just in the sight of their favorite star in pain, but in her constant, emphatic attribution of the suffering to her reality TV career. "Thank you, Bravo," she writes, a stark, accusatory statement that lays bare the emotional cost of her time in the spotlight, specifically citing ongoing stress stemming from allegations during the filming of Real Housewives' Ultimate Girls Trip, the lingering shadow of the split. While the focus is on Brandi's current health, the roots of her public trauma remain deeply intertwined with her 2009 divorce. Brandi came to Rob as a self-described broken bird, a former model, publicly humiliated by her husband's infidelity. Eddie Cibrian's affair with LeAnn Rimes, an on-set relationship that shattered their family, turned her private pain into a global spectacle. The years that followed were an emotional minefield. Brandi had to grapple with the betrayal of a partner and the complex reality of a co-parenting dynamic that forced her to interact with the woman who broke up her marriage. While she and LeAnn have publicly patched things up, even sharing holidays, the trauma is the kind that seeps into one's soul. Brandi herself has been candid that the stress from her recent television drama has been worse than my divorce, a statement that speaks volumes about the original magnitude of her heartbreak. The public nature of her divorce was the crucible that forged the Rob Brandi everyone knows, the unfiltered, fiercely defensive, and sometimes erratic personality. She fought to reclaim her identity and her narrative in a world that had judged her as the scorned ex-wife. The relentless pressure of being an open book, a role she both embraced and was destroyed by, began right there. Financial and emotional fallout. The physical toll of her ailment has led directly to a devastating financial crisis. The very public star, who often relies on appearances, podcasting, and reality TV income, has recently admitted to being at her breaking point, struggling to pay her bills and facing significant financial insecurity. "I couldn't even work if I wanted to at this point," she stated, linking her inability to secure income to her disfigured appearance and the mental toll of her depression. She has poured nearly every dollar she has into treating her mysterious condition, leaving her in a precarious financial state. This adds a layer of profound sadness. A star who built a second career on the back of her traumatic divorce is now being physically incapacitated by the relentless stress of that same spotlight, leading her down a path of deep financial worry. The emotional impact, as she confesses, is the hardest to bear. She's struggling with a deep depression, and the need to hide her face has caused her to isolate, even wearing a mask around her children to avoid frightening them. The pain, she says, is more mental than anything. This is the real, unfiltered, and deeply human sadness of Brandi Glanville's current life. A woman known for her vibrancy and outspoken nature is now hiding, hurting, and drowning under the weight of a stress-induced illness. The call for empathy. The story of Brandi Glanville and her ex-husband, Eddie Cibrian, remains a complex tapestry of Hollywood drama, betrayal, and eventually co-parenting peace. But today, very sad news is not about a dramatic new twist in that old saga. It's about the devastating, prolonged consequences of that high-stress, high-stakes life on Brandi herself. Her current health battle serves as a stark reminder of the heavy price of reality television fame and the long-tail effects of public humiliation. Brandi Glanville is fighting for her health, her mental well-being, and her financial stability, all while battling a physical ailment that appears to be the ultimate, painful manifestation of stress. The sad news is that the scars of her past, which began with her ex-husband's betrayal, have now become literal, visible wounds that threaten to completely derail her life. The entire Real Housewives community and the broader public who have followed her roller coaster of a life are now watching with bated breath, hoping that Brandi can find the definitive answer and treatment she so desperately needs to begin her journey to true, comprehensive healing, physical, mental, and financial.